If your website's technically fine, but you're still not getting the calls, leads, or bookings that you want, it might be time for a brand reality check because good enough does not always get results. Hey, I'm Faye, a designer and brand strategist with Constant Creates, and I work with small service-based businesses to clean up their visuals, clarify their messaging, and build brands that actually convert. Today, I'm doing a brand audit for Busy Bee Movers. The founder, Derek, reached out to me, and I just wanted to walk through what's working for them, what could be stronger, and how they can better show up online. I do this because I genuinely want to see small business owners win, and sometimes that means getting honest feedback from someone who sees what you can't always see from the inside. Busy Bee has a lot of good things going already. A website, branded trucks, a logo, printed materials, and they've been in business for a solid 6 years, but when it comes to showing up online in a way that feels polished, clear, and trustworthy, there's a lot of room to grow. So in this video, I'm walking through their homepage and sharing exactly what I tweak to help them book more jobs, raise their perceived value, and make their brand look as professional as they are. So let's jump in. All right, so Busy Bee Movers. Immediately when I'm looking at this, technically this opening is okay. Reliable, affordable, stress-free moving in Sarasota and beyond. That communicates what they do very clearly. We want to keep something like that as the opener, as the first part of the site. And then from there, we'd like to maybe have a little description, short description related to their brand. Something that leads them into the call to action. We need a call to action button there. There's no call to action button here. So I'd love to really see a button here. I'd like to see a less busy background so this font is easier to read. This mascot is a little redundant being shown up here because it's right here in the top corner. We don't really care to have that showing up twice. It makes it look like that's your brand's only asset when really photography exists, patterns exist, little videos, maybe video testimonials from your clients, or even a video from the founder himself talking to whoever's on the website, letting them know what they stand for. There's a lot of other assets that you can use to really push your business forward than just the mascot. So we want to make sure the mascot shows up once, and it can show up maybe later on the page, but in situations where you have a static header that has your mascot in it, we don't want to use the same pose. If anything, you would want to use the mascot in a different pose. You want to get another illustration of the mascot doing something else. Instead of his little sign, he might be flexing or something, or he's carrying the box in his hand, or something else silly that kind of alludes to the fact that you're a moving company. I like the mascot, but I'd like that removed here. I'd like a cleaner header, just cleaner hero section in general with a less busy background. When it comes to my brand audits, I always audit the homepage, just so you guys know, so I'm just sticking to the homepage for today. This section's not bad. I kind of like this truck mock-up, but I am inclined to ask, because I'm a designer, I'm very much aware that this is a mock-up, this is a static graphic, this is not a photo of their actual vehicle. So I'm inclined to ask, is that what their vehicles look like in real life? Because I would like to see them have those wrapped cars, wrapped trucks, and really have their presence like this. While their actual branding might benefit from a more distinct word mark that can stand on its own and still be a little bit recognizable, regardless, having a branded vehicle, especially a fully colored branded vehicle, helps grab attention and lets people know who you are very quickly. I recommend it all the time for contractors. I like this. I recognize that for SEO purposes, they have the Busy Bee Movers as a Sarasota, Florida moving company, but that's the part I would like. I'd rather something that tells a story. I'd rather something that flows naturally, so if people are just reading the headlines, they have a stronger understanding of who Busy Bee is. We've already communicated that Busy Bee helps Sarasota, Florida, right? We already have that in the header, moving in Sarasota and beyond. We don't need it immediately here. Instead, we might make it bee themed. Let's see. Whether it's packing or delivery, will get you to your next hive. I don't like that, actually. Honey, we're here for you? No, that might be a little too flirty. We believe in full service. And then down there, from local moves to packing, delivery and junk removal, yada yada. Something like that. We want a little bit more creativity. We want a little bit more of a branded experience. It doesn't add to the customer experience to say this right here. Our worry-free moving services. This section is a lot to look at. Busy Bee Movers of Sarasota, we're masters of moving. That's an incomplete sentence. At least start with at. At Busy Bee Movers of Florida, we're masters of moving. We handle every type of move, whether it's residential, commercial, or senior relocations, we got your back. Check out about each area we specialize in below. That's an incomplete sentence as well. Moving is easy when you've got Busy Bee. I like moving is easy when you got Busy Bee. I would move that to your header. Moving is easy when you got Busy Bee. At Busy Bee Movers of Sarasota, we're masters of moving. We handle every type of move, whether it's residential, commercial, or senior relocations, we've got your back, period. And then show a carousel of the different services they offer. This is a little bit busy because I would prefer a version of this that is condensed enough that when you're scrolling on a page, you see everything in the section at once. So I'd rather it be a carousel. I'd rather it be a carousel that automatically moves. With this, you have to scroll to even see the second section. You could do that, or you could condense the pictures to be more rectangular so that you have that more condensed look. But regardless, even the pictures need to be worked on. Because, for example, on junk removal services, fortunately there's a bit of a shadow behind it, but you can't read that very comfortably against that font. Maybe we want a black background against it. Maybe we want a little gradient that fades into the photo. Maybe we want just a rectangle behind the entire bottom, creating a banner for that. Or maybe we want to simplify it and just use words in the section. Less is more sometimes, and we don't have to make it look like this. So we'd want a more condensed and a more visually effective section. Also, this black background, this black hive background, I guess black is one of their brand colors. I wish that I could see less harsh colors used for their branding. I'd rather see yellow used as an accent color than like this, or maybe even using this orangey honey color instead for their primary colors, because the yellow is just a bit harsh on the eyes and it makes it hard to read things like this gray font, for example. And even it's a little bit hard to read on this black background with the yellow text. It's just a bit aggressive. So I'd like to see that a little bit softer, a little bit easier on the eyes. Why choose Busy Bee Movers? I actually don't mind this section. The section's pretty nice looking. I'd prefer if we could get real photography of the company, get them real packaging, get you guys real packaging that has the Busy Bee mascot on it, maybe has the word Busy Bee incorporated on the packaging, and just get you multiple boxes like that. That'd be really good for brand recognition. To save on costs, you might not actually want to print the whole mascot on there and instead just have your word mark that says Busy Bee Movers. However, in that situation, like I said earlier, we want to have a word mark that is more distinct to you. That's a little bit more custom than simply typing out the word Busy Bee Movers and not making any adjustments to it. We want it to just be slightly more recognizable. And then we want to take just like a quick little brand photo shoot. I could really come in for a day and just take a bunch of photos for you guys, and that would function for photos for your website. And if you do choose to ever build social media pages, that could function for social media photos as well and can be incorporated in there. And what I usually recommend, if you guys are local to me, so what I usually recommend is a monthly content shoot where I'll come in once a month and just take 30 pictures, and that's enough content for the whole month. So that's an option. I'm not pushing you, I'm just letting you know. I like the fact that you say that like, you have good ratings, 5-star rating. That's amazing. 106 5-stars reviews is perfect. But I'd like to see a carousel of a few different reviews. You don't have to include everything, but a few different reviews, like a little carousel section right here that shows what some of the best clients have said. Another option would be, no, I don't know. I think that's about it. I would like a little carousel with your reviews. Let me read this actually. Why choose Busy Bee Movers? Our movers have years of experience in moving industry, so you can master your volume part in advance. Just throwing this through Grammarly would help a bit. I really recommend that. We see it all and know how to handle any situation that may arise during move. I guess it's good. Busy Movers is fully licensed and registered before the Department of Agriculture. That's good. I don't know if moving applies the same way, but I know a lot of other contractors require their license number somewhere on their website. You can include it here, or you can include it in your footer. Most people include in their footer, but you might want your license number because you mentioned that you're licensed and insured. So that is something to keep in mind. Your trusted moving experts, the Busy Bee Movers difference. This section is too busy. It's too busy. I can read this because I'm trying to read this, but someone that comes to your website and barely cares about you yet is not going to read that font on that background. Simply put, they will not read it. They might read the header. If they're colorblind, they won't read that header. But that body, they are simply not going to read. Moving doesn't have to be stressful. Busy movers who specialize in providing seamless hassle-free experiences for home and businesses across and beyond. Whether you're relocating locally, moving out of state, or experience, licensed and insured movers is here to handle everything with care. That's great. You can end it there and then create another section because we don't want too many words in one section. It makes it a little bit harder to read. People like me have TikTok brain and their attention span isn't going to read any more of that. So I would end it there and then start another section underneath saying transparent pricing, reliable service, and a friendly team. And then we make sure your move is smooth from start to finish, no hidden fees, no delays. And if you have like pricing tiers, you could maybe include that there, or what the starting price is for that. And then have you want a more specific quote, you want an estimate, call us today for a free quote, and then have an actual button. I've noticed that most of these sections don't have a button that leads to that call to action. And really, I think that it's important to call, but I would give two options because sometimes they're a little nervous. Some people are anxious. Some people don't want to call immediately. Some people need a couple business days to mentally prepare to call. And some people are just weighing their options. If you guys value price transparency, I would recommend having a starting point or just omitting the pricing thing. Don't talk about pricing, one of the two. What else? Why choose Busy Bee? Are skilled. You don't have to have both. I think you should either condense this into one paragraph, all of this plus this into one paragraph, or just find a way to remove this. Also, just making sure the branding is aligned because this is a different aesthetic completely than the rest of the site. This is using like a pale pastel yellow, for example. The honey colors, you could incorporate that honey kind of graphic into your branding. This honeycomb's more realistic, but it doesn't need to be realistic. In a way, like one second, I'm getting a call. Faye with Constant Creates, how can I help you? But yeah, no, I would remove this and just try to incorporate this brand direction a little bit more. But honestly, I like this solid background. Making it a little bit less in your face would help a bit. Turn up the transparency for it, for example. I noticed that these are two different honeycomb textures. You want to choose one so that you can build that brand consistency. I prefer this one because the lines are thinner. And then I don't like that the footer is a different color than the header. I'd like to see this more consistent, more cohesive. It honestly might need a bit of an overhaul. Some things I didn't see are testimonials. You want those reviews. You might want a gallery of your work that you've done, maybe before and afters, or pictures inside of the truck full of a bunch of stuff, maybe photos of your movers in action. You also want two call to action buttons. I would recommend one being for them to call and then another for them to contact. Either way though, it'll be them booking their move or them getting a free quote. And what you can do to do that is just have one button that says get a free quote. It takes you to a separate web page, and that separate web page has your form with their name, what date they need to be moved, how many rooms they're moving, the like pickup and drop off location, things along that line. And then underneath, you can have a little bit of text that says, or call us today at insert number. And then when they click it, that's clickable and it automatically calls you. I don't know, I got some ideas for you, Derek. When hovering over this, I love that you guys have dedicated service pages. You don't want more than about 5 different services under the same folder. I don't like the fact that Sarasota Moving Company is a service. I simply don't. Maybe under About, you can have like an About menu, multiple About pages. And on that About section, you have one of the pages being where we're based. And then have that be under your About. I don't like that it's under your services. Junk removal services, that's good. Moving and storage services, that's good. However, I personally would not say the word service over and over. It's a bit redundant. Saying junk removal, moving and storage, furniture delivery, piano moving, packing, out-of-state moving. Out-of-state moving company doesn't belong here. What I don't appreciate of some people's approach to SEO is that they approach it like there's no tomorrow, there's no next week, there's no next month. SEO is something that takes time, and you don't want to confuse your people that come to your site by adding in things like that. Just say that you offer out-of-state moving. Just say that you offer junk removal, and then create blogs, create in-page pages that lead to you expressing your value as a Sarasota moving company, you sharing what it's like to work with you for out-of-state moving, you sharing the process of piano moving. Here are 10 tips on how you can make your move easier, what it's like working with the best moving company in Sarasota. There's so many options. I'm not the most well-versed on everything that there is to know about moving companies. But if you guys have multiple types of storage services, if you have multiple types of moving services, from there, you would then create a dedicated page for each of those different services. That way, when you create blog posts, that way, when you create ads, they can lead to that dedicated page, that dedicated service page. If you can include on this homepage, maybe some FAQs. I don't see any FAQs. Basic questions that people ask about Busy Bee movers. And then on each service page, you might want to have FAQs. I don't know if you guys have, I know there's a Sarasota moving guide. I'm sure there might be something there. There isn't. Wow, this is a lot of words. There is the option for live texting or live chat. I'm not the hugest advocate for that, because if you don't have someone behind the phone 24/7 answering that, it starts to just be a more glorified contact form. You might benefit just from simply having a contact form, so that way people don't get frustrated with your service by not answering very quickly. Or even worse, get frustrated with your services by them answering quickly, but on the other side of that is just a robot or just someone overseas that barely understands your business. You want to be clear and represent your business well, so just do a contact form or just have them call you. Another thing I didn't notice that you have is an email newsletter. Email is one of the best ways to convert people, and so without an email newsletter, you're gonna have a hard time. Or it's not that you're gonna have a hard time, but you're gonna have to build like all of your momentum in person by speaking to your people. With an email newsletter, you stay top of mind, and people are less likely to forget you. If they do need to do another move, are they gonna remember that you were Busy Bee movers and you helped move them last time? Will they call you again? Or do you expect all of your clients to just come once and disappear? You want to have strong brand recognition, you want to be top of mind, so one of the best ways to do that is sending them emails maybe once a month, once a week, something like that. I would recommend maybe bi-weekly, because people will get too many emails. And maybe offer a lead magnet to get people to even join your email list. Maybe that can be a moving checklist PDF that has a list of everything that you want to have packed, and they can type in their email and their first name and they get that moving checklist. And then whenever they get that, they're signed up to your email list, where you then remind them maybe once a month, because how often do people really need to move? You would send them out an email letting them know if they know anyone that needs moving. Busy Bee got you covered. Or refer a friend, get $30 off of your next move. Or, I don't know, just different things that remind people of your value, remind them that you exist, keep you top of mind. You want to have an email newsletter. What else? Honestly, I think if you were to incorporate all of these things, your homepage would be good to go. I don't know about the other pages, but your homepage would be good to go. And, oh, you have a Facebook. Let's see. You didn't tell me about your Facebook. This isn't bad. Let's see. I'd like to hear more sounds. I appreciate that you have a branded truck. I'd like to see more sound, maybe more people in action, just like a quick video of literally you guys walking across the screen would be enough. And then that would be considered B-roll, and then you can have text on screen that says, we're the ones that get the job done, or we're worth the buzz, reach out for moving services. I don't know, something that communicates what you do instead of simply move Busy Bee. and then your phone number, because that doesn't give people the value. It doesn't tell people why they should even reach out to you. We take precaution to protect your furniture. We carefully wrap each piece. See, something like this. Instead of it just being 3 photos, because short form video performs the best currently, at least, you might want a video of you guys wrapping the furniture, just a quick video, and then from there have on screen instead, we take precaution to protect your furniture. We carefully wrap each piece and secure it to ensure it arrives in perfect condition, and then just have that. You just want to be in action doing your thing and have just a caption, and that performs oddly well. Like this, I like this little time lapse. This is great. And then you could have a caption right here that says, POV, you move from one place to another stress-free. I don't feel like logging in, so that's the books I'll give you right now. But I'd like to see you flourish. I'd like to see you thrive. And there's just so many ways that I'd like to see your website just get pushed just a little bit further. So thanks for reaching out for a brand audit. I hope that this helps. And if you are interested, you can reach out to me for a website design. Let me check. I think you're on Squarespace. This looks like a Squarespace site. This is a Squarespace site. You're paying for Elf site for what? For this? Does it pop up? Ooh, I don't like that. No, just make it branded. You don't need to do this. What else do you have going on here? Google Analytics, that's good. Oh, you have some code in here. I wonder where. Alright, so at least you're on Squarespace 7.1, so I am happy to take over the site and literally do it for you. Do everything that I mentioned and more. I have so many ideas for you. You only have 1 blog post. That was March 17th. Are you aiming to do once a month blog posts? I'd like to see you do once a week blog posts if you can. The best choice for your next move. And I'd like to see more blog posts like this. That's good. That's for a free quote. It feels very salesy. The emojis especially make it feel salesy. The check marks are fine. The emojis make it feel like it was written by ChatGPT. You do want to get so that it sounds like you. Doesn't give off so many like signals to your customers that it might have been AI generated. So GPT with assistance of a human that is actually reading and adjusting things is a pretty good combo. Oh, I saw this photo. I like this photo. I feel like this should be actually the photo that you use in the front right here. Have this guy on the side with his thumbs up, and then over here is like, or like a different brand color, and then fades into that. Oh, that'd be beautiful. That'd be so beautiful. This photo needed to be edited and expanded, even if you needed to use AI to expand it. Even if it's not perfect, it needed to be expanded to take up all of this space instead of just looking like a photo like this. Ooh, I just realized I'd love to see an announcement bar too. An announcement bar that tells you a sale or deal, or says download our checklist or something that gets people to take action. All right, so I guess that's my audit of Busy Bee Movers. Busy Bee has a solid start, and with just a few tweaks like simplifying the homepage, tightening up their visuals, adding real call to actions, and showing off more of their team and their personality, they could make a huge difference in how people experience their business online. If you're a mover or a small business in general watching this and thinking, dang, my brand could use a cleanup too, you're probably right, but don't worry, because that's exactly what I help with. I offer brand audits just like this, tailored to your business with real feedback and practical steps. So if you want your website, brand, or content to actually work for you, head over to constantcreates.com and book your audit today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, feel free to like, share, and send it to someone who you think probably needs an audit. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.